Welcome to A Well-Designed Business with your host, LuAnn. LuAnn has a lifetime of experience building a multi-million-dollar business with her husband and cousin, and she knows the challenges you face in your interior design business. LuAnn brings you real-life answers to your most pressing problems, as well as practical strategies to explode your interior design business. So, let's get to the business of interior design.
Hi, welcome to another episode of A Well-Designed Business. Today is a special encore presentation of the Designerlebrity Event, which was held at the gorgeous Ethan Allen Showroom at 915 Broadway in New York City on Wednesday, May 17th. So if you heard about this and you were bummed because you couldn't join us for this panel of stellar people, I might add, then have no worries. We have the full audio of the event right here for you. The panel included Barbara Viteri, the creator of Designerlebrity, Cheryl Eisen, the founder of Interior Marketing Group, Mikel Welsch, the principal of Mikel Welsch Interior Design, and Manuella Morreira, the co-lead designer of this Ethan Allen location. So I'm going to tell you first a little bit about our show sponsor, and then when we get back, you'll first hear a pre-show interview I had with the four panelists. It was downstairs in a private room, and we just did a little bit of a chat to sort of warm them up, okay? And then after that, we'll go right into the panel discussion that we had in front of all of the live, the live panel discussion in front of the attendees. So I hope you enjoy it. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Cherish, and to let you know about this gem of a resource. Cherish, which can be found at www.charish.com/trade, is the premier online marketplace where design pros just like you can go to source the best vintage decor and furniture. With more than 125,000 curated items for sale, Cherish makes it easy, fun, and fast for you to find stylish pieces at great deals to suit every client and every project. The items are ready to ship, hint, hint, which means no waiting, and Cherish offers a 2-day return policy. Here's some more good stuff. Cherish trade members enjoy special benefits, including cash back on every purchase, white glove delivery, and exclusive concierge service. Sign up for their trade program today at www.cherish.com/trade. Hey everybody, this is our little pre-show for this spectacular event that Designerlebrity, Barbara Viteri, has put us all together for. And I'm so lucky because I'm sitting at a table here with Barbara Viteri, with Cheryl, we'll do your thank you, your hellos, hello, with Cheryl Eisen and with Manuella Morreira. How's that? Did I do it right? Okay. And with Mikel Welsch. So I, first of all, want to thank you, Barbara, for putting this together. And I think this is sort of fun because we're before the show. It's about an hour and a half till showtime. So we're down here in this little quiet spot in this amazing Ethan Allen showroom here at Broadway in New York City. And we're having a little moment, the five of us. Okay, and Kimberly's here because, she's always everywhere I am. So anyway, so let's just say hello to Barbara. We all know what a crazy lady this is and how much fun we usually have on the podcast. So what are your initial thoughts about how much fun we're going to have here tonight, Barb?
Well, I'm nervous a little bit. Usually I'm not. We were supposed to have 75. We were just talking about that. And now I think we may have had more people coming possibly than your opening. So I'm a little concerned. But I'm really excited. I could not have a brand called Designerlebrity without having actual designer celebrities in presence and actually prove the proof in the pudding, so to speak. So I am hoping that people will embrace it. It's a new brand. I'm hoping that they get it. And then also with the interior designers attending, that they actually can embrace it, because it's really meant not to be the TMZ of the industry, but more like the Hollywood Reporter. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Awesome. And so she has assembled this A-team for us. So we have our Designerlebrity is Cheryl Eisen from Interior Marketing Group, and I mean, I don't have to give Cheryl an introduction. I'm sure of it. We all know of her from $1 Million Listing. We know of her from her fabulous places. And I just learned that these fabulous places, these mansions and these penthouses and everything else in New York City, that she normally has a 12-day turnaround. So that's pretty incredible. So tell us a little bit about, you just told us a second ago how you're sort of stressing out now because you're getting angry calls because things are happening and we're just putzing here like we have nothing but time on our hands, right? So what is it? Give us a little bit about your day and the types of things that you have to face, and because most designers are not facing that sort of a 12-day challenge. Cheryl.
Hi.
Hi, Cheryl.
Yeah, this is very exciting to be here, actually. So it's a really nice break from the stressful 12-day, design moment. It's very stressful because, we have to get these properties on the market because they're multi-million-dollar properties, and every day that they're not on the market, someone's losing money. So we've got major pressure. And so I've got 12 days to do what you guys do in 3 months, 6 months. I know.
Years,
Whatever. I mean, the beauty of it is that, you have to make decisions on the spot. You don't even have time to deliberate. So it's so much fun what I do. And I love it. I don't think I could do anything else. Interior design is like a whole other thing that is alien to me. Right. I'm in awe of interior designers. But yeah, so that's what I do.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm really in just a little bit of awe of it. So one of the good things is you don't have to answer so much to a client. So that part is easy. So you create beauty and move on, but the timeline is insanity. So now, Mikel. Yes. All righty. So you have a lot going on. You are working on Harry Connick Jr.'s set for his show. You were working on Steve Harvey's show. You have a restaurant in Harlem. You're like a busy man. So yeah, you're a hot topic for sure. So tell us a little bit about what your day is like.
Well, I'll start off by saying you make my day sound so much better when you rattle off that list. But my days are pretty chaotic as well. I typically start at the beginning of the day working on sets. I do the basic segments on all of Harry Connick Jr.'s show. So if Martha Stewart comes to the show and she needs to talk about 4th of July dining, I'm kind of that behind-the-scenes person who builds that beautiful backyard for her to say, this is what it looks like. So in between that, I'm also getting calls, like Cheryl as well, from clients who could care less about me being behind that stage. They want me at their home. So it's a balancing act. And then I generally get off of work around 6 p.m., and then I go check on my restaurant because it's like all these little children that I'm trying to corral and watch. But it's a lot of fun. I just took the restaurant project on about a year ago, and I never in a million years would have thought that I would have been co-owner of a restaurant. Designing it is one thing, but this management and ownership is a whole nother beast. But I can't tell you that.
That's awesome. And then we have our potential, Manuella. And Manuella has a little sweet spot in my heart here. You were one of my original fangirls on the podcast, weren't you? I mean, seriously.
Been there since the beginning.
I know. And she connected with me on Facebook and Instagram and way back in the beginning, like the year and a couple of months ago.
Some secrets on you.
I know. Okay, well, here it is, all the dirt. But and then we had that thing that happened when we were at the Newell, which was, I couldn't believe that happened to you. So what happened was we had this big birthday party at Newell, and we were so thankful that Jake Bear hosted us there. And that was just this past February 6th. And the event was from, what the heck was the event from? 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, right? So everybody is there, and I wanted to do, at 7 o'clock, I wanted to do a welcome and thank you. Figure some people get late, some people want to leave, right? So at 7 o'clock, I walk over to Jake, and I say, I want to do a thank you. And he says, Andrew Joseph says to me, give me a minute. He says, because the elevator's not working. And he said, and I think, I never even bothered to figure out what it was, but I think it was like, at a certain point, the building locks the elevator. Right? And so, and nobody thought to tell maintenance to leave it running after hours. And so I'm like, oh, all right. And he's like, don't worry, it's not a big deal. And literally in 6 minutes, he comes to me and says, we're back ready to go. Go do your thank yous and so forth. Great night. 80-some people came out. I get home back to New Jersey like 2 hours later, and I get a text from this little baby right here. It says, LuAnn, I came out to your event, and I got there, and the elevator was locked. I mean, that's what I said. Then I said to Kimberly, and I said to my husband, of all people, this woman has been supporting me from the beginning. And it was like literally locked for like 10 minutes. So I have to tell you, I really do have a soft spot. That's it, right? So now she had to bring us here to Ethan Allan, exactly, and the door isn't locked, right? So, but I'm very excited that Barbara has seen the potential in you because your work is really beautiful. I've been watching it, obviously, on Instagram for a year. Tell us a little bit about your day here.
Thank you. First of all, it's such an honor to have all of you here under, our roof. It's just incredible talented. I'm so honored to be here sitting with you guys. A little bit about me. I started with Ethan Allan in 2013. We actually have over 200 design centers. Most of them are here in the United States. We have about 1,500 interior designers with the company. I feel very honored to be able to work under such a reputable name. And my day here, I mean, it's a bit crazy. I may be working with a client trying to find that one special piece, or also working on, a very large home and furnishing everything. And I thought that my timeline was, very short, meaning that I had to turn around projects very quick. But after hearing her, I just feel like I have the, exactly. So kudos to you. But yeah, I mean, I just love what I do, and I always try to make sure, that I can translate that into, to my clients, and make sure that, it's very important for me as a designer that they have as much fun with the project as I do. So I always try my best with that.
Very nice, very nice.
I want to add.
Yes, here we go.
Real quick, because we have things like, traditional home will have new trads or rising stars, and you know me to be a straight shooter. So literally, I'm just going to call it the way I see it. I'm like, these are potentials. No, it's not a bad thing. But the word potential, you're just thinking, potentially what could they be? And when I feature a potential, honestly, these are people that their work could be on Architectural Digest. This is major work that you would never be able to understand why you haven't heard about them first. It's almost like an American Idol thing. Once you see them finally sing, you're like, oh my God, I'm voting. Right. So that's what I was hoping with the potentials. And Manuella has been on television. She's done some incredible design work that's already been spread in almost features yet. But I was glad to kind of get that first. That's what the potentials are. It's not, no offense out there. If you're listening, Dolly Decorator, I have a rich husband and I'm doing my home kind of thing. This is like hard work that just hasn't been recognized yet. And so I'm really thrilled to have you here to showcase that.
It's awesome. It's really awesome. So I don't know. Should we get ready to go upstairs? Do you have anything else that you'd like to share, Barbara, before we? Yeah.
Have a little jingle for everyone that's here.
Yeah. That's it. Okay, Mikel says it's a wrap. It's a wrap, folks. All righty, we'll see you for the live event.
If everybody would like to take your seat, we're going to get started in just a minute. My name is Amy Franks. I'm with Ethan Allan. I'm the Vice President for the Northeast region, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you all here. We're thrilled to have you in one of our newest homes here in New York City. I would like to also welcome our guests here. All of you are our guests, but certainly I'd like to start by welcoming Barbara, and thank you for bringing Designerlebrity to Ethan Allan. We're really thrilled to be part of this. And to LuAnn. We're excited to hear all of your wonderful questions and to inspire us more with design ideas this evening. And to our panelists, Mikel, Cheryl, and Manuella. You all are hitting a variety of topics, from hot topics, Designerlebrity talks, and the potential. So we're thrilled to hear your perspectives on design this evening. And without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to LuAnn.
So much, Amy. First of all, I would like to also give a big, huge thank you to Ethan Allan, #1, for this amazing event. Talk about rolling out the red carpet, right? And, of course, also to Barbara for the genius that she is. And, of course, to all of you lovely people who have joined us tonight, Mikel, Cheryl, and Manuella. So the thing is that if any of you people here are podcast listeners, you know I like to get into it, okay? But we're going to have to go I'm going to say a tiny bit tame, and then Barbara's going to yell at me right off the bat. I'm just going to say that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go a couple of questions, 1 or 2 questions for each of you, okay? First question I'm going to give to you, Mikel, sitting right here. One of the things that I have to say, 2 things. Now, we all know that Mikel is the set designer was previously for the Steve Harvey show and now is for the Harry Connick Jr. show, in addition to owning a restaurant in New York City and having designed that. So I'm not going to make an assumption you guys all know the street cred of all of our guests here, okay? But I would like a little inside information on 2 things. The first, we're going to go tame, Barbara. We're just going to go tame first. I know, she's ready. We're going to go tame first, though.
Can we just stay in tame?
So, truly, Harry Connick on his show is just, at least looks like the sweetest guy on the planet. Has his wife on for a Mother's Day special, has his daughters who all sing his praises, and I'm thinking, man, I would pay my kids to say those things, right? So is he as sweet and wonderful as he seems to be?
No, actually, he is. Actually, I will say this. Harry Connick Jr. is very authentic. When we're in the hallway, I will never forget the first time I actually met Harry Connick Jr. He stopped me and said, "Hi, I'm Harry." And I'm like, well, we know who you are, sir. Like, I don't need you to enter. But he's that type of celebrity. Like, he doesn't see himself as a celebrity. He will stop you in the hallway, introduce himself. But, you know, what you see is what you get with Harry. I think he's in a unique situation where this is season 1. And, you know, this is new for him. And so he's excited. And, you know, he has this new fan base that he's trying to embrace and just trying to understand and finagle his way through. But, no, what you see is very genuine.
I'm so happy about that. Who else is happy about that, right? Don't you love it when you find out that the people, the way they seem are the way they are, right? Because you get so disappointed if they're not. That's the worst. Okay, so thank you. All right. Barbara is dying for me to ask this question, and I'm like, going to just have to ask
me?
it. Yes. All
No,
right,
let's let her ask it since she...
Ask it. Go ahead.
What is the question, Barbara?
Steve Harvey.
There it is. She can't help herself.
I can't.
Okay.
She can't.
I had my talk show again. I need to know, did he summon you to come and design his set? Because that's the talk right now. I don't think he's that kind of guy, but you've been in his presence.
Okay, I will tell you I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of Steve Harvey. So, what people don't know is I was working in set design with his executive producer on a funny show called Jerseylicious. It was about leopard and cheetah print, and it was like my intro into television. And honestly, I worked with that producer first. At that point, I was in the middle of auditioning for HGTV for a show called Design Star.
Yep.
And my producer told me if I didn't win that show, that she wanted me to come to Chicago to work with her on a new show.
So there's a thing called luck.
I don't like to use the word luck. Okay. I like to really say that, you know, things are meant to happen and the stars align, and it's a lot of prayer and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, I bust my butt to get to that point.
And it's well deserved. Yeah.
And by the way, you have to be prepared to be lucky.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. But yes, Steve Harvey, his business partner, is honestly the one who got the ball rolling. So I'm not afraid to admit on HGTV, it's a show kind of like, they had a show called Design Star. It's just like Project One Way. 10 people live in a house, so you have to design a challenge. And on the show, I came in 4th place. Steve Harvey's business partner stops me on day 1. It's like 20 executives sitting at a table. And he says, like, the meeting is going kind of like it is here. And somebody abruptly says, "I know who you are. And I'm like, okay, well, sir, like, sit down, relax. And he's like, you're that guy who put that horrible green paint on the wall and they sent you home on HGTV. And I'm like, now is really not the time to talk about this. But what he says to me is, I want to speak to you after the meeting. And I'm like, I wish you had done that after the meeting, too. But he asked me to come and redesign Steve Harvey's office, and that's really how the ball got rolling.
Okay. And he's really a cool cat, though.
Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
Yes,
he's
Steve
a cool cat.
Harvey. You know what? He has a lot going on in the media, but I will stand up for him and say this. You know, that email, there's an email that went out. Basically, Steve Harvey addressed his staff, saying that, you know, he didn't want people coming up to him and stopping him in the hallway. Well, let me be really frank and honest with you. I've worked with a lot of celebrities, from Oprah, Michelle Obama, Harry Connick, like so many, and you can't just walk up to them. Like, they have an entourage that will stop you. Steve Harvey would allow 15 to 20 of us to sit in his office. If I were to bring my mom and my dad and my sisters and say, hey, Mr. Harvey, because I don't call him Steve, because out of age, respect.
Yes. Good.
He would take those pictures. And what people don't realize is that, yes, stars are in the light and, you know, they're celebrities, but they need their me time. That man gets to that studio at 4 a.m. every single day to tape a radio show, and he doesn't leave until 8 p.m. So for him to tell us that, no, you can't stop me in the hallway. 20 of you cannot congregate in my office, and, like, we could have a party in his office, and he could be on the stage, and we've kept the party going, and we forget, oh, this is your office. So, you know, I feel bad because he's taking a bad rap.
Well,
you know,
and that's what he said.
Well.
That's what he basically, when he explained it, he said, you know, not for nothing, but I can't walk from my office to the set without being a half hour, you know, to get there. And so
now you know why he's a hot topic.
That
epitomizes.
You want the dirt.
Yeah. Right. Mikel is our hot topic. Exactly right. So thank you for sharing all the hot topic stuff with us. Okay, so let's go to Cheryl Eisen. So Cheryl, everybody knows, is from $1 Million Listing, right? And she has her amazing home staging business here in Manhattan, and that sort of seems like an understatement to actually say that. I'm curious, because Barbara would like us to dig a little bit into things. I'm curious. I have seen where Frederick is sort of, you know, like, honestly seems like he's second guessing you and like directing you, and I'm like screaming at the TV going, you've got to be kidding me. You hired this woman to do her stuff. Nobody does it like her. What is that like?
Frederick is a TV personality for sure. I mean, he is like that in person. But he really, now that I've been working with him for 10 years, before he was famous, in fact, he lets me now do my thing. He doesn't even show up until the end. He knows it's going to be great. But on that one episode, yes, he was all up in my face saying, wait a minute, what are you doing with this and what are you doing with that? But I did stand up to him because I've known him for a while.
Yeah, you told him, stop hovering.
Yeah, exactly. He was driving me crazy. Exactly. So he's great to work with.
All right, go ahead, Barb. I know you're dying. Go ahead.
Everybody watches Bravo $1 Million Listing. Have you seen Real Housewives of New York? Okay, technically they would have called her a Bravo-lebrity instead of a Designer-lebrity. But I love the idea of calling interior designers designer-lebrities because they really are celebrity interior designers. And all these amazing reveals that you see, it goes to the credit of Frederick or to Bethany's place or to someone else's place, and they tend to kind of say, ta-da, and the Designer-lebrity does not get seen or shown or give credit, and it's sort of like they didn't existed. And so to be able to see you on Open House NYC doing your thing is incredible. It's really nice that they put you up front, which is great. I love that show for that.
I love that.
I love that show for that. But at the same time, I love Bethany. The Queen of Mean, whatever you want to call her. The B is back. She's my people. I'm direct and straightforward.
Yeah.
you staged Bethany's apartment and it sold in 24 hours.
Correct.
For over asking,
For
right?
over asking.
For ask, all
Okay.
cash.
Yes,
But
thank
yeah,
you.
she
All
got it.
cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember when Bethany had her show, I knew the Designerlebrity who did her place.
Aaron.
Yes. And I was like, oh, dear Lord. So the point is I love to get your perspective of how is that where you're dealing with networks and they're just like, well, do this amazing work and, we won't talk about you.
In the beginning, when I got to be on the $1 million listing for the first 2 seasons, that was fantastic, and I was really grateful, and it really put me on the map. And then after that, Frederick said I was getting too busy for him, so he wasn't going to put me on anymore. So now I'm the behind the scenes. But I love seeing my work on TV, and I'm grateful that it's out there in any event. It does sting sometimes when I see some things where other people are taking credit sometimes, and that's a little painful, but I'm just grateful to have it out there.
And are you doing anything, hopefully, back on TV, back on Open House NYC? Are we going to see more of you?
Probably. I'm on there every couple of months.
Perfect. So Open House NYC, check it out. You're going to love her work. It's insane.
And the other thing that I would love to add is what we learned earlier today is those amazing things that she's doing in 12 days. This is the deadline. So this is a room full of interior designers, and you all know that you are typically given, I've interviewed Denise McGahey. Her whole thing is 90-day design.
Right.
And that was incomprehensible to me.
She looks like she's rude with her time in that time frame.
Exactly. It's like, well, are you having lunch every day? What's going on? And, Cheryl's doing this stuff in 12 days.
Yeah.
So it really is remarkable.
A Designerlebrity.
Yeah, no, it's really remarkable. And that's not to take away from the ones that take 90 days to do it. But we did also talk about, too, how there's a certain freedom in not having to design for a client. Now, everybody in this room that's a designer understands that challenge because you probably could get it done in 12 days if you didn't have to ask, right?
Right.
But talk about that because that's
so
just
true.
your vision each time, your inspiration for the space, the architecture. What's your world about with that?
It's true. I am so lucky that I don't have to deal with a million people's taste. It's fantastic. I don't know how you people do it, but kudos. People come to us for our aesthetic, which is broad appeal, right? And that's easy to do. Something everyone will like. And they come to us because we've got that look, and they're just like, do your thing. Boom. It's awesome.
It is. It's awesome. It's amazing what you accomplish, and the ideas and the things that it really is spectacular.
And these are mansion-sized places as well.
Oh, yeah. And
I
the
know.
price tags are
60 million,
60.
Yes. It's not like make one room look amazing. It's make 15 rooms look
Right.
amazing.
And get the price for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, very good. Very good. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Manuella. So Manuella is one of the co-lead designer for this Ethan Allen showroom that we're in, and she started at the Ethan Allen corporate headquarters in Connecticut. And so I'm curious, unlike Cheryl, who can design to the space and to her particular inspiration, and let's be real, maybe what you've got in your warehouse that's available, that's not out on another project, right? Unlike that, you have every walk of life, I would imagine, coming into this fabulous showroom. You've got all different demographics, all different personality types, all different styles. What is that challenge like, Manuella, when you're working here in the middle of Manhattan like this?
Absolutely. It is a big challenge, but I think it just forces you to become better. I worked in Connecticut for a little over 3 years, and then being here in New York, I could tell it's very different, but I'm very fortunate to work under the Ethan Allen umbrella. We have so many different styles. We have the traditional, we have the modern, we have the transitional. So for me, it's fantastic because I get to run my design business under such a great name, which is Ethan Allen.
Yeah. And this store opened only this past year in August, right?
Yes.
And so
very,
you
very
came
new.
from Connecticut here to be part of this brand new showroom here, right?
Yes. So I was in Connecticut for many years. I loved being there. And it was a great place to start because I actually got to meet a lot of people at corporate headquarters. So I got to meet the people who, in marketing, the people who design our product. So for me, it was just fantastic because I just picked up so much. And then I wanted to grow, and there's no place like New York for that. So I was presented with the
opportunity to come here and join a fantastic team. We have about 12 interior designers that work on our team here as well. And I was very, very honored to actually be able to come here.
Well, and not for nothing, but you must have something going. Well, I know you have something going on, but I mean, it's nice that other people notice it too, because you seem awful young to be a co-designer of a store of this size, a flagship store like this. So, and I have to say, in the last couple of weeks, as we've been preparing this event, I am very impressed with the Ethan Allan team. Everybody just really is that word, team. It's very apparent, and I said to you earlier, I'm so happy that you work here, because I think it's awesome for you, and I think it's a great opportunity for you, and I love watching in the last year through Instagram, watching you evolve.
Thank you.
It really is cool. Yeah. So, it really is nice. All righty, let's get to the Designerlebrity here. All right, Mama. What do you want to do? What do you want to say? I know I've kept you at bay here for a minute.
No, I chimed in.
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell everybody about you a little bit.
Oh, I'll write the check.
No.
Last year, when the podcast started, we started the podcast in February of 2016. And it's just like with Manuella. Barbara and I became acquainted through different social media, Facebook, Instagram, different things like that. And, you start to flirt around each other. And the reality is that when you come across somebody through a social media platform, you really don't know what's behind. You know what's in front, right? You know what the work you see, you know the face that goes forward. But sometimes when you meet them, you are sometimes less impressed and sometimes more impressed. And when Barbara and I started flirting around each other, all of a sudden it was like, you know what, maybe you should come on the show. Oh, okay, I'd like to come on the show. And I'm going to tell you what, this is one brilliant woman here, and I am not exaggerating.
Sweet. That was sweet.
Honestly.
Thank you.
And she wanted to come on and talk about this new idea, Designerlebrity, and it was just a little baby germ in her mind last year when her first episode on the podcast last spring, early summer. But what happened was I asked her one or two questions about her background and her business background. And then I was like, oh, no, heck, I want to talk about that. Because she was a business manager for interior designers, and this lady knows her stuff. She knows how to run a good business. She knows what goes into running a good business. And now what she's doing is she's reinvented herself with this platform. And when she came back on the show this past winter to say that it was launched, exactly. And it doesn't surprise me that we're sitting here with 100 and some people to come and see what you've created, because there is a unique thing that happens in your brain. And I know all the crazy stuff happens too. I get the crazy stuff. It does. But it's a very specific person that has a talent like you have, Barbara, and I have witnessed it, and I am, happy to know you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was so nice. Yeah, Thank you.
It's the truth.
I was like, oh my God, is it me? It's me you're talking about, right?
Yes, it's you.
That's so sweet.
No,
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more. Tell us about the platform. Go into more detail about the hot topics and the potentials, and explain to everybody about this new thing that you're doing for this design community.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm a white girl that was born and raised in Marcy Projects in Brooklyn. So the most infamous neighbor there would be Jay-Z. Anybody ever heard of him? Okay, so don't let the exterior package fool you. But from that environment, there was no way that there's an interior design connection. We didn't even know what the word interior design was. And I feel like luck helped me where I got a job at a very posh antique store where it was called To the Trade. It was called Howard Kaplan Antiques, but they only sold to the trade. Now, this is like 20 years ago. And when they meant to the trade, Madonna could not get into this store without her interior designer. It was strictly to the trade. We turned down Tony Bennett. We turned down, you'd be amazed. And I was like, well, wait a minute, who's the celebrity here if I'm not allowed to let these people I've seen on TV in. And that kind of created this world in my mind at the ripe old age of 18 that there are celebrity interior designers out there. And I'm a pop culture junkie. I watch all of like E! and Access Hollywood, and I'm reading the tabloids, and I'm like, these people aren't in here, and that's what I want to read, and that's what I want to know about. And it's been a whole world of like music, and there's focus on authors for books and movie stars, and but there was no place for a celebrity designer to kind of get a little bit of a spotlight. And then fast forward to just working for all the major players in the industry, and then I was like, I know I'm not going to be an interior designer. I got good taste, but not that good. I just thought, you know what, let me just run a consulting firm. And I was a one-man band, and I ran it the way an interior designer did in their prime, so to speak. They were just them. They didn't have an entourage. They didn't have publicists or anything like that. It was just all about the work. And then I got bored because I was like, I can't believe these guys do that. It's just interior design in their world. And I realized, well, maybe it's because I'm so interested in the celebrity side. These are designers that are on TVs that we watch. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't watch HGTV. I think for good interior design, you got to watch Bravo. So I'm just going to let you know right off the bat. But fast forward about 2014, I'm blabbing about a Bravo show, and I'm like, oh my God, someone's career is ending, just on Twitter, just Donald Trumping it. It was horrible. And a network reached out to me and said, we want to give you a talk show. The things that you say, the stuff that comes out of your mouth, and you really are unfiltered, and we have a feeling if that person was in your face, you would say it to them. And I'm like, yeah, to both of their faces. I have no problem at all. It wound up becoming Designerlebrity Talk, and I called it Designerlebrity because I kept thinking back to that time where I was turning down these celebrities that they couldn't get into the store because they needed a designer to get in. It truly was to the trade. And that sort of catapulted to creating this brand, Designerlebrity, into a website, because I didn't want to do a season 2 of that show because I'm more like a Chelsea Handler and you can't beep too much. So I thought, let me create a website where I can spotlight celebrity interior designer news, and I'm going to categorize it. One would be a hot topic. There's something going on in current events. There's a designer that can represent that. A Designerlebrity Talk. There's something going on TV or shows that we're going to watch or books we want to read. There is a designer that can represent that. And then also what I call the proof in the pudding, back to my roots of working with a designer that just didn't have time to get a publicist or have people talk about their work. But if you saw it, it was proof in the pudding. And so a potential could represent that. And these 3 categories represent Designerlebrity and what it's meant to do for the industry. And I'm not going to lie, this industry is like high school with money. It's like a lot of them didn't get it. A lot of them, I suggested, why don't we do I could contribute to magazines, or, maybe I can contribute to shows, and they just didn't see it. It was always about the star they were working with, or if they could just write an article and they don't mention your name, and it just really frustrated me. So I put my finger up, and I did that, and now I did this. Yeah. So thank you all. Yeah. Thank you.
It's terrific. What I like is that everybody thinks that things happen overnight, and that's one of the things that I learned on the podcast. How many people are, you have this from 18 years old, festering and building and dreaming, and now
out of the hood.
Yeah, and now here it happened. And so that's a big lesson that comes out every time I interview somebody, that it is being lucky, and it is being in the right place at the right time, but it is being prepared to be lucky. It is having done your hard work and having done the homework and having, become the person who could stand there and be ready to be tapped on or create something. Okay?
So let's do because just like a celebrity, someone has to run.
Yeah, I have to.
Crying out loud. Is that why you're so fidgety over here? I'm wondering, what is the deal?
8 o'clock.
All righty.
Yeah,
so no questions for you. Okay.
No. I can take one.
Okay. Do we have any one question for Mikel?
Anybody have a question?
He leaves?
Oh, see, they're being nice.
Well, there you go. Get the heck out of Dodge.
Barbara, I love you guys.
You're heading off?
Yes, I have to.
Tell them why, because I got to put you on the spot. Why are you up and going?
Okay, so I'm a member of the Soho House, and they have this event tonight where you can win a free trip to Paris. And I got selected as one of the top 10. I know, so I am with you in spirit, but I got to go.
But wait, before you do, just real quick, we are going to take quick photos because we have wonderful press here.
Yes.
We'll take quick photos. Yes. And if there are no Q&As, I suggest you guys go have some great drinks and food.
Is there any Q&A before we call it? We have one question.
Oh, we do. So.
And can this and I just wanted to ask anyone who wants to answer, would you share maybe a moment of struggle coming up where you felt whether it was not feeling good enough or not knowing enough or not knowing if it would work, and what maybe pushed you through or how you pushed yourself through?
Working for the project, such struggle. For me, though, I feel like any new business, anybody who starts a new business, I don't think anyone can really touch upon on how tough it is. You're looking at it on TV, and it looks like it's instant fame, instant success, and it's not. And I think, for me, my struggle is happening in front of you. I literally just started the brand. It launched in November. And just because I have a room with hundreds of people doesn't necessarily epitomize it as a success. It's just, you just continue and you stay in your lane and you act like you're Michael Phelps and you don't look left and you don't look right. You just want to stick with the focus. So that's the only way I find that I've actually grown and have gotten to this place. I just keep staying on my own path. I stay in my own lane.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can answer it as well. That's very interesting. Right. I've been doing this for 10 years, but before this, and I have no interior design experience, I had an internet company back in that day, and for 10 years, and it went out of business. And I was completely broke, living on my mom's sofa, and I had to totally reinvent myself. And it took a couple of years to figure out how to do something completely different industry I knew nothing about. It was really difficult. And I started just me doing it. And 10 years later, perseverance, now I have a 50-person company. So,
and a multi-million-dollar empire.
That's true, a fempire.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, I feel like I'm always learning something new every day, especially being in this type of environment that, I may meet a client who has a completely different style than, what I'm used to working with. So it's all about learning how to adapt and asking the right questions, understanding the client first. That's how I start the process is understanding their lifestyle, because one of the big things here at Ethan Allan is that we're not trying to sell our clients the Ethan Allan look. We're trying to help them create their own. So this is why we have interior designers and not salespeople working on our floor. So that's a big deal for us.
And I would just add to that, if you are, I took the question to mean struggle with knowing when and how and what to do and a calling, or if you're on the right track with what you believe is a calling. That's how I took it. Okay. So I would say to you that I promise you there's a voice inside you. And that voice inside you will never lead you wrong. It just won't. Okay? And you have to take time to listen to it. You have to take time to respect it. And doesn't mean that you don't ask for counsel. It doesn't mean that you don't have a business manager. It doesn't mean that you don't consult with a coach, a husband, a whatever. But listen to it, find it. And you see, Cheryl, 10 years, she built this business in 10 years. That's amazing. So it's possible to do anything. Just stick to your true self and find it in you, and just, you can do it. I'm 100% sure of it. Okay? Listen to yourself. All righty. Anything else? Anybody else have any questions?
Good. Then let's
you guys just want to drink, right? You just want to eat and drink and party. Oh, okay.
Hey, Barbara.
How you doing?
I'm a big fan of what you're doing. And
thank you.
How can the trade help you help us?
Child, I've been
nice
asking
question.
that forever.
How can we open the door and help you and get exposure and help us in the brotherhood and sisterhood of interior design and the trade?
Yeah, it is an industry, just like, Tinseltown for,
Sure.
Movie stars, and there is a fashion industry. And like, me, I call it, like I said, it really is like, basically a click with money, and I think with the network that gave me my show, that was an incredible opportunity because there would be designers that would literally pay to just do that. You know what I mean? Just to be able to get that kind of exposure. But I think the key is that you have to recognize talent, which is what I feel like I'm doing. It's very easy for me to say, I think, because I'm not a designer, but I'll judge a book, you know? So I can judge and think the public is going to agree with me when I see if a show is really going to make it, because we're all sort of doing that. If the industry can pick up on that and listen to a general public, and then there's someone that's sort of like, you know, the translator and say, this is what I'm seeing, it seems like a given, you know?
So, but he's asking how, as interior designers, they can help forward your mission in that. Is there something, I'm trying to think of it as you're talking and he's asked the question, what as an industry can we do to support you? This is a beginning. Here we are, we've got it out of the closet.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
This is a great beginning.
But are there other ways? I mean, do you have an idea, Cheryl? You do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's all about, you can have a great product with no marketing, no one's going to know about it, right? You can have a horrible product with great marketing and everyone's going to know about it. And that's how I sort of got it. Not that I have a horrible product, but I think if we all, you know, sort of put it out there on social media, you know, her brand, and you know, in every event, and invite her to it or whatever. And really
I'll tell you too.
Just real quick, but to give you an answer, like there are a lot of organizations that, whether it's IDS or he's part of IDS. I think when you actually do your events, it doesn't hurt to have the powwow meeting and not shut the door, because I've gotten that quite a bit where it seems so out of the box, where I just recently did one for IDS. I'm like, why can't we have a game show setting? You know, put these designer celebrities on the spot and judge other designers' work. You can't, you know, have this ego so much, and that's why I call you celebrity designers. Sometimes your egos get so big you can't put a turtleneck on. It happens. But on the flip side, it's so great to see you in a different light. So if the platforms, the TV shows, everything, radio, anything where you get your information on what you are interested in, if they can embrace the Designerlebrity brand and let us flow and just be able to do our own thing, because it is going to be different, I guarantee it. I don't like to do, you know, what's already been out there. I think that's the first step, because honestly, you really wouldn't be anything without public. It's the public that decides if they're going to buy your product, if they're going to read your books, if they're going to watch your TV shows, if they're going to really think you qualify. And I love that I'm not an interior designer. I say that all the time. I'm the public. So, you know, I just rather be the voice and tell you what they're saying.
And how about if a designer has something coming up, a scoop? Right? Something that
Designerlebrity.com.
Right.
And
they
honestly,
could share with Barbara before it goes out to other places. Now, of course, AD comes, you might go there first, just saying, but...
Well, that's the other thing, that because a lot of platforms could be pay to play. It really concerns me. Designerlebrity is not pay to play. You are not paying to be on a cover of my magazine. You're not paying me to promote your product. Honestly, I'd rather just share it from an authentic perspective, and there wasn't a dollar bill to go with that. Now, I make my money in other ways. Thank goodness I have my real estate partner here, so I do really well with real estate. But Designerlebrity is not a pay-to-play platform. So I would like the public to know that when they come to Designerlebrity.com, it wasn't because we had paid scoop or anything like that. Right. And honestly, I'm not paying for the scoop either. Either you want to share it or you don't, but somebody will be talking about it.
But we're suggesting to the industry that if you're a designer and you've got something going on, that if it's noteworthy and you've got some pictures or something to go along with it, that, you know, you share it with Barbara, and then Barbara will put it out on the platform.
You ready for the email? It's funny. It's hbic@designerlebrity.com. I kid you not. That's the email. Thank you.
That's a great question. Thank you. Anybody else?
Oh, you have a Facebook Live question?
Yeah, we got a couple questions from Facebook Live.
How cool.
Goodness.
So,
hi, Facebook.
I'm going to combine it into one. So, Cheryl, Darla Powell from Miami asks.
Hey, Darla.
LuAnn says hi. Darla Powell from Miami asks, what was involved in your reinvention of yourself? And second part, Regina O'Brien Summeruck from Burlington, New Jersey asks, could you talk a bit about how you got started doing staging of homes?
Definitely. Hi, Darla and Regina, is it? The second one. Hi, guys. Thanks for the question. I didn't know what to do after my first business failed, and I literally had like nothing, and I was sort of floundering. And someone said, go get your real estate license. So I did. I got that, and I realized that I wasn't going to be a great real estate person. I was just not great at selling. But I watched HGTV, and I thought, hey, I could stage these apartments, and maybe they'll sell faster. And so that's how I got started. I started staging my listings, and lo and behold, it was like viral. Brokers started saying, who staged this? Can you stage my place? And that's how it all started, and it just became word of mouth, and it spread like wildfire. And there was some luck in it, I suppose, as well. And that's how I got started. And
was it in this market here that you started doing it? Was it? Did you say, or it was?
New York City, yeah, absolutely. Wow. And I think it was 2004, 2005, so it was a strange time in real estate as well. I was very lucky.
It's actually a remarkable story. I'm just saying. Okay, all righty. That's it. Anybody else have any questions? Oh, we have one here for Marjorie.
Hello. I wanted to ask you, Barbara, what is your definition of Designerlebrity?
Oh, in short, to save your oxygen, it's celebrity interior designer, condensed Designerlebrity. So
it means what
no.
Right?
Wow, it's like like I'm speaking a different language. No. I feel you. I feel like I'm not getting the questions either. I didn't drink yet. My definition of a Designerlebrity, again, I like to quote it short because it is very long to call someone a celebrity interior designer. But I remember when I was doing Designerlebrity, fashion designers would come up to me and they're like, oh, I'm a Designerlebrity. And then I was like, oh my God, I really are going to have to clarify what a Designerlebrity is, because fashion people would be like, that would be me. And artists would say the same thing. I'm also a designer. I do art. And I thought, okay, like the Skinny Girl brand, I probably should consider her client's Bethany Frankel. I really am going to have to, figure out what this brand is going to be. So a celebrity, which pretty much everyone knows, is the public can recognize them, whether by name, by face, by their work. I wanted to niche it just for interior designers. And so I think a celebrity interior designer is kitchen table talk. You can talk across the room and be able to say, oh, yeah, I know that person's book. She wrote a book. Or I know this person on TV. And to me, that epitomizes what a celebrity interior designer is, when the public can address you by name, face, or product.
So now I would like a follow-up question, because Marjorie she is a podcast listener. And she has a full-time job in a construction company, but she has a side hustle with it as an interior designer. Nice. So I would love for you to explain to her what makes a potential, so that maybe she could set her sights on that.
That's a great question. This has been tough because I felt I get so many entries more on the potential side than the actual Designerlebrities. And I think the Designerlebrities are just intimidated. To be honest with you, they're like, well, are you TMZ-ish or
what
you
if
Hollywood
you turn them
reporter?
Down? That's their problem, right?
And I do. But for the potential, I think it really is the quality of the work. Like I said, I'm a viewer. I'm the one reading the magazines, and I'm the one watching it on TV. And just like you would with any platform, you get the work out there, and then you get to see who can pick it up. So whenever I get work in, if I'm not responding, it could be time, but it could be also the fact that, I just think the public will either rip this apart, or they're just going to figure out and say that's proof in the pudding. And so all you have to do is just put yourself out there, and you'll know, because you'll get a call back, or even if you don't, you just continue on to the next one, like Jay-Z's song, on to the next one, on to the next one.
Okay,
thank you.
You have a little goal there. All righty. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to ask? All right.
Well, you're on Facebook Live.
All
Wave
right.
hi.
Say hi. All righty. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate all of you coming.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm thrilled to do it with you.
Well, we're down one, so we'll head over there. I know that. Hi, Hudson Mag. Some press over there. We're gonna head over there and take some photos and answer any of your questions for your blogs and magazines. And guys, thank you so much for coming. So eat and drink. Thank you.
My great thanks to the featured sponsor of our podcast, Cravat Inc. Of all the terrific things about Kravat, do you know about CuratedKravat.com? I know you've heard me tell you all about it for this last year and a half, but have you taken a minute to really go and look and check out CuratedKravat.com yet? You have to see this collection of the most unique, high-quality finished products for the home. The collection includes furniture, lighting, bedding, rugs, accessories, and more. It is so comprehensive. It features customized designs as well as unique hand-picked pieces from the global design market. CuratedKravat.com is available exclusively to the trade. That's right. No direct consumer purchasing. They have your back at Kravat Inc. And have you checked out the innovative ready-to-ship upholstery program? This is groundbreaking in our industry. Where else can you find someone that delivers custom quality furniture fast? I'll tell you where else. Nowhere else. You see, it's the combination custom, quality, and fast. That is at CuratedKravat.com. You can shop the site by product category, by stylized product stories, and through the curated rooms designed by the industry tastemakers. At CuratedKravat.com, they are committed to making your job more efficient by providing unmatched customer service coupled with an exceptional product offering. Kravat Inc. stands firm in their mission to serve the interior design trade at the very highest level. And the last and one of the most fabulous features is the process is so simple. That's right. Design, click, deliver. Easy as that. One last thing. Kravat Inc. has a thank you to you as a listener of the podcast. If you are on the site and you are ready to make a purchase, any one purchase, you can get 10% off as their thanks to you. Enter the code CKPodcast at checkout for 10% off any one purchase. Well, I do thank them very much, and I really do hope that you will take a moment to see how CuratedKravat.com can help you run your business more efficiently. So several dozen designers and design enthusiasts came out for this live event, and it really was so much fun. I think it was just the only complaint, I think, is that it wasn't long enough, actually, for the discussion part of it. So, but everybody had so much fun. Ethan Allan really rolled out the red carpet. They had wine and food, and it was really nice. We had a step and repeat for all the pictures, and then Ian streamed it live on Facebook through Tastefully Inspired, and you can see that on our website at www.windowworks-nj.com. Go to the trade blog and you'll see a whole recap of this there. And of course, also all of the others have it on their sites and their blogs as well. Ethan Allan and Designerlebrity and even Tastefully Inspired has a post about it. So there's 3 or 4 different ways to see all the pictures and the videos from this. It was really a good time. Remember, you can be on our mailing list by texting us. Just text this number, 444-999. And in the message field, put in the word Design Biz, no spaces, no caps, DESIGNBIZ. You'll be taken to one more step to put in your email, and then you'll be all set. We send out an email every Wednesday with the info on the shows for that week and the past week and any news and events that are happening related to the podcast. So that's how to stay in touch and really know in real time what is happening. Because I know a lot of times you might be a couple of weeks behind on the podcast and so forth, but the email newsletter is always telling you what's happening right then and there. All righty? I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have an excellent day. Thank you for joining me again today for another episode of A Well-Designed Business. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks in Livingston, New Jersey, your trade resource for custom window treatments and awnings. Learn more about WindowWorks at www.windowworks-nj.com. All of our music is original music by Room 2 Productions. Please contact us if you want to learn more about original music for your business or your events.